Alright, some bonus content for y'all. So, it's probably a good time to talk about luck in motorsports. It seems topical right now, especially with the Le Mans going on. So, what role does luck have to play in motorsport? Well, thankfully, Le Mans is going on. We'll see who wins tomorrow. And the reason that you always have to wait and see with Le Mans is that bad luck could strike at any time. You've seen it recently, no less, when Toyota failed to finish. You've seen it recently. So, it's not. Nothing in Le Mans is ever a foregone conclusion. And nothing in motorsports in general is ever a foregone conclusion. And this quite frankly affects people at all levels of motorsport. You might be the car designer with all the ideas, and you never get the budget. And I'm not too sure I rate Mike Gascoigne that highly. I think he just had a few good concepts here and there, and was overly ambitious on some others. But anyway, it affects drivers. You can have all the skills, you can have all the talents, all the ability, and you can just never get into championship winning machinery. And sometimes you might just always have a teammate who's just better than you. And this has happened with even Sir Sterling Moss. And luck is even recontextualized in a historical setting. I mean, you have to be lucky to just get around some corners, really. He stayed with Mercedes. That might be an interesting investigation for another day. But he stayed with Mercedes, and just when they came good, oh, here's this guy Fangio. He's gonna win everything. Montoya. I mean, he had all the ingredients to win a championship. Never got the right car. It just never happened for him. Mark Webber. Some people would argue Mark Webber. I would argue Heinz-Harald Frentzen. There's some really good drivers that come in and out of F1 who just never seem to get the right ingredients together. I mean, Robert Kubica as well. He was a championship threat, and he was unlucky enough to be part of a team run by Dr. Mario Tyson. He was just unlucky enough to be in that situation. And heading into this Baku Grand Prix now, the race usually throws up a chaotic one. Alright, it'll be an anomaly if the Grand Prix is a calm one, as always. Although you wouldn't have said that after the first visit there. That would not have been the assessment at all. Actually, after the first visit, people would have said, "Oh, remove it from the calendar," blah blah blah. They would have probably given it the same shtick that they were giving the Miami circuit. And this is why I just don't take criticisms of the Miami circuit too seriously right now, because let me show you the first race at Baku, right? But anyway, luck seems to usually play a large factor in our results in this Grand Prix. And quite frankly, if you're going to win a world championship, you have to be lucky on days that favor the lucky. So it's going to be interesting to see who wins the lottery tomorrow. It really will be. And some people don't really appreciate how luck plays a role in F1. I mean, some people say you should alter the red flag rules for qualifying, and you could do that. Really, you could do that, and then you kind of eliminate a whole lot of elements of circuits that you perhaps didn't consider. So if you're racing around a large circuit, Spa or something, let's just take Spa, the largest circuit that F1 has on the calendar, and now a safety car gets called, and you're on the far side of the circuit. Well, you don't have to worry about making any sort of complicated decision, or perhaps you've just gone past the pit lane as the safety car has been called, and now you don't have to worry about about making any sort of complicated decisions along the way. You don't have to be worried about that. Likewise, well, I say likewise, you quite frankly just eliminate the whole point of circuit geography if you try to police that element of luck of the draw that circuits can produce. And the same thing extends to qualifying. Matter of fact, it's actually a functional in qualifying that if you're going to take the risk of, at the end of the session, when everyone is breaking 3 meters just a little later and all of that, when you're going to take that risk of running last of everyone, well, someone could crash. And likewise, if you actually get a clean run and you're the last guy to run, that's when the track is the most rubbered up. So it's really, people are gambling all the time in ways that perhaps they either do know or don't know, or perhaps they just won't tell you that they know. You see? So if you go out in front in qualifying, you might get the clean run that's not interrupted by someone's incident or someone running wide into an escape road. But you've kind of had to make your own luck at the same time. And something that's so punishing about Le Mans, and why this is topical for this weekend. Alright, something that is so punishing about Le Mans is you can dot all your I's, cross all your T's, sort your Q's from your P's. You can cover all your bases, and you can still come up short in the final tally because you're just a little unlucky. Wrong place, wrong time, and things just didn't fall your way. And that can happen at Le Mans. And it's great Le Mans because it's like well, I don't know if this would still hold true now, considering the amount of F1 Grand Prix that we go to, but it's pretty much an F1 season's distance in a race. So you get to see all the elements of motorsports play out over there. Really, you get to see all of it. It just takes one day, 24 hours. Now, I do wonder what type of voodoo I do wonder what type of voodoo the schedulers are up to with the scheduling that they've opted into, with having the Azerbaijan qualifying and Grand Prix going on at the same time as Le Mans. Well, I suppose it won't be exactly the same time for the Grand Prix, but anyway. But both of these Grand Prix, they're lotteries. They're quite frankly lotteries. You could bet on Daniel Ricciardo winning tomorrow. I wouldn't really be able to call it one way or the other. You just might. Who knows? You just might. And this is the great thing about luck in motorsports, is that there are some circuits where, well, this might not perhaps be fair on Baku, but there are some circuits where they test luck, quite frankly, and Baku is one of them. It no doubt has other functions, but it definitely tests luck. Le Mans as a race has a luck a luck variable in it, if you so want to say. There's a measure of luck about getting to the finish of Le Mans. Never mind winning it, just getting to the finish. And some Grand Prix this season, well, coming off of Monaco, the way it was, you had to be a little lucky there. But Baku is generally a complete lottery. And it will be worthwhile to see which drivers actually have some luck about them this season and which ones don't. Anyway, that's the vid. I'm quite curious who's gonna win Le Mans. I'm expecting a Toyota win, by the way. Expecting an easy Toyota win. But you always gotta wait and see with these things. That's the vid. Peace.
Hell breezy. Let me show you how to keep the dice rolling when you're doing that thing over there. Hey. Let's go! Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away. Better know that I don't and I won't ever stop. Cause you know I gotta win every day. Go! See, you really wanna pop me. Go! Just know that you will never flop me. And I know that I gotta be a little cocky. Go! You ain't never gonna stop me. Every time I come, a nigga gotta set it, then I gotta go and then I gotta get it, then I gotta blow and then I gotta shut it. Any little thing a nigga think that he be doing, cause it doesn't matter, cause I'm gonna dead it. Then I'm gonna murder everything and anything about it. Boom, about a bing. I gotta do a lot of things to make it clearer to a couple niggas that I always win and then I gotta get it again and again and again. And I be doing it to death and now I move a little foul. Nigga better call a rap and everybody know my style. Niggas know that I'm the best when it comes to doing this. And I be banging on my chest and I bang in the east and I banging in the west. And I come to give you more and I will never give you less. You will hear it in the street or you can read it in the press. Do you really wanna know what's next? Let's go. See the way we on it and we all up in the race. And you know we gotta go now try to keep up with the pace. And we struggling and hustling and set it and to get it. And we always gotta do it, take it to another place. Gotta taste it and I gotta grab it and I gotta cut all through this traffic just to be at the top of the dome. But I know I gotta